Hi Aries, it's Meg with Padmes. I'm doing your October Tarotscopes. So anyone with Sun and Rising, Venus and Aries, you can find messages here. Just take what resonates and leave the rest behind. And I'm talking to our angels and guides of the highest vibrations of love and light. And they're talking to your angels and guides of the highest vibrations of love and light. Because I don't want to talk to anyone else. And let's see what kind of energy is around you, Aries, for October 2020. Ooh. Let's see here. And the first thing that I'm noticing, Aries, is actually your advice. And your advice is talking about kind of some hopeful, wishful fantasy, thinking about your future. And this is advice. So the advice is to the things that you don't think are possible for the future, but you want those things, those are the exact things that you should be fantasizing about or wishing about or basically dreaming into reality, as Esther Hicks would say, right? Dreaming into reality, the things that you want. And that's your advice. That's the first thing that I really noticed out of the whole spread. But let's look at the rest of it here and see what's going on, Aries. Your higher self is saying, I feel like there's some unfinished business here. I have some things to do. I have some loose ends to tie up before I can finish up a cycle. And I'm not complete with something. Your angels and guides are talking about bringing something full transition. So it's like you're ready to bring something full transition, but you still have some loose ends to tie up before that can really actually happen, before you can really clean it up. So keeping that in mind, coming from a place of not being ready, emotionally ready to move on from something, okay? And then the big picture is talking about working hard at becoming an expert. And this would be working hard at becoming an expert at, this would be making a foundation, making things solid, would have to do with resources, time and energy, effort. This would be your money, your finances, information that you're pulling toward you. And it's like, how do I easily and effort, this even looks like, how do I create passive income, Aries? How do I create passive income where you're trying to become efficient at making money that you don't have to work really super hard to make, or you work super hard initially and then let it roll in later on. Okay, happening now and into the near future, it's like I'm internalizing loss. I'm internalizing the fact that I do not feel stable. Oh, and I'm hearing conditional. My circumstances, I'm internalizing the fact that my circumstances are conditional. For instance, if I don't work, the money doesn't come in. It's not just like it'll roll in if I'm not doing something. In order for the money to come in, I actually have to show up. It's that type of internalization. There are a lot of pentacles here, Aries, and you've got some major arcana, 3, 4. So this would be kind of a turning point month, There's some unfinished business that needs to be brought together, needs to be tied up. Let's look at the heart of the situation here. 1, 2, 3, 4. You have 5 majors, actually. There's like, there's a resistance to situations that are not ideal. So it is like you're trying to pull in your ideal situations or create your ideal situations. And, at your outcome, at your trajectory, you've got the King of Swords. So you are figuring out how to do this. It looks like there was a decision that was made that helped you out with this unfinished business, like helped you out keeping it unfinished. It's like there's a decision that was made that feels like, ugh, creating more work for you than clearing things up for you. But at the trajectory, at the outcome, it looks like you figure out what it is that you need to do. You figured out, okay, this doesn't work. So now I know what does work. So actually, it looks really good. I like it. There's also something about releasing the idea that you're getting involved in non-ideal situations. I know it seems like you want things to move faster than they're moving, but let's check that out. I'll get back to your heart of the situation in a second here. Some other things came up first. It looks like you've been overworking, or you're taking on these responsibilities that are very burdensome. You're doing a lot, making decisions that aren't totally becoming fruitful as fast as you want them to, but going faster than you want it to. I want to know some advice around that. No, first I want to ask your higher self more about that. Here we go. Right. And the thing is, this is moving slowly because you're using outdated thought processes, which is interesting. Processes, outdated ways of thinking. But then your trajectory is the King of Swords. So ultimately, you figure this out. You're not necessarily continuing to use outdated thoughts and ideas, and I even want to say principles. So right now, your higher self is saying you're still working with those, but as soon as you change those up, those are going to clear the way for what it is that you need to tie up those loose ends and complete that cycle. Okay. So I will say this. It does look like you're going through this process like of trial and error in order to open your heart chakra, in order to open to receiving in a different way, receiving abundance in a different way. This is something that you have been learning in this lifetime. You know, yeah, and I keep hearing that you are a problem solver, Aries. So I'm going to use the Lenormand maybe deck to get a little bit more information. Yeah, so the heart of the situation is talking about how you're learning over and over and over how to receive. You're learning how to receive differently, how not to stifle yourself in manifesting. Your higher self wants to say that there is somebody who can help you, that this person has masculine energy, or literally they are a gentleman. It's somebody that can help you in this process. You know, for some of you, it is actually a person in a relationship, a love relationship. This person helps you open your heart to receiving, but receiving in lots of different ways, not just receiving in love. And your angels and guides are talking about a whole safe full of money. So yeah, it's how to receive love, but it's also how to receive finances and resources that you need for life. So I want to know more about this pattern that you are moving through over and over to learn this lesson. So the heart of the situation. And this is talking about, part of this has to do with somebody else's energy in your space who had lack mentality, and their energy is in your space. So you are literally deprogramming yourself. You are literally moving their old thoughts and ideas out of your space. So those old ways of doing things, old ways or old ideas, they very well may have been presented to you and you just sucked them into your field, and it's somebody else's energy in your space that's actually holding you back. So as soon as you realize your own alignment with the universe, you, oh my gosh, are going to be totally aligned. So now you're getting the woman, you got the gentleman, and now you have the lady. So for me, that is masculine, feminine, masculine energy being balanced. And when you balance masculine and feminine energy, this is complete source of receiving, complete source of, it almost reminds me of the Empress. I don't see the Empress here, but it's like Empress energy. You are an abundant magnet for anything that you think about or dream about. So that's exactly what's going on here. So Aries, your reading this month is a lot about manifesting and bringing things to you that you want, your dreams. And it's moving through some kind of situations, some kind of feels like tough situations, even internalizing these situations, lamenting about them, being upset that they're not moving fast enough. Yet, yeah, let's ask about that. Moving fast enough. You're learning about these things, and so if you moved faster, it would lead you in the wrong direction. I know you've got some, you don't want it to move as fast as it's moving, but ultimately it's to show you where your limitations are so you can completely override them. Those are programs in your space that are not even yours. I want to ask for more advice here, Aries. Yep. And this is about looking at your own subconscious mind, looking at your own subconscious. This is childhood stuff. And it literally just goes back to those self-inquiry questions. What were your parents' beliefs about money? What were the people around you? What were their beliefs about money? What is the collective consciousness beliefs about money that are in your space? I feel like your mom's energy is very possibly in your space, having to do with those programs that are not serving you, lack mentality of some kind. I also feel like I want to mention there's some people who can pull things in like nobody's business, but they can't keep them. Like somebody will gift someone a pony and then they won't be able to keep it on their property because it's not a horse property or something like that. Or somebody will get a whole bunch of money and then all of a sudden they'll have to spend it on complete car repairs suddenly that don't make any sense. That's still lack mentality. That's still programming. You can clear that out of your space. So it feels like it's that type of thing. So mom energy, mom's energy, maybe female lineage. There's also something about not being able to decide or figure out about which opportunities you want to take or you want to connect with. And so there's like a stagnation because you can't make a choice, but I would say that's okay. Don't make a choice until you clear your space and clear your energy. And let me ask your advice. How do you want to do that? That one wants to come out and this one does too. Okay, there's something about recognizing your self-confidence, recognizing your strengths, and recognizing your weaknesses. And instead of looking at this whole strength and weakness thing as something that doesn't serve you, take the emotion out of it and look at it instead as strategic planning. Instead of worrying about the things that you are not really good at, totally focus on the things that you are good at and don't worry about the things that you're not good at. If you seriously need somebody to do your books because you need to get better at that, just have somebody else do them. Don't do them yourself. Don't worry about it. Don't let that stagnate you. It's like, don't let the things that you're not good at be the source of the thing that keeps your self-confidence low. Focus on the things that you're good at. That's the only thing that you need to do. You're not 10 people, you're one person. You don't have to be everything. Okay. I want to pull from the Magpie Oracle and see if there is anything else here. Right. Okay, so you have the baby carriage. This can literally be a baby, but I don't feel like it is. Ultimately, I feel like this is, it's about nurturing a new thing. It's about nurturing a new thing. It's also about taking it to different places and trying it on. I don't really feel like you need to be telling a whole bunch of people about this. It's more so like looking at this new thing and what it would be like in different scenarios with different people. It's like trying it on in different places like that. Let me see, what else here? Aries. Oh wow, you're not gonna like this. Here we have the snail. On one hand, the snail carries its home on its back everywhere it goes. But what I'm really feeling like this is, it has a lot to do with this Knight of Pentacles here, who's the slowest moving knight in the deck. And then we have the snail, who's also really super slow. And this is about taking your time. It's about taking your time because you're going to miss something if you try to speed it up and go faster, or you're going to go through a lot of steps before you have cleared your space of lack mentality. That's somebody else's energy anyway. And if you go through those steps really fast with that programming still in your space, you're going to continue to go through those steps over and over, which is, for me, the full reversed here at your heart of the situation. So I am going to pull a fairy oracle. From the fairy oracle, what do the fairies want to say to you, Aries, for October 2020? And daughter energy. The answer to your question involves your daughter. This can literally be your daughter. This can also be your inner child. How would you take care of your daughter, your inner child daughter? And what keeps coming up for me too, though, is my chocolate princess Pearl, who passed a few years ago, but I always joked that she came from my womb. So she was my chocolate lab, and I always felt like she was my daughter. Really what that symbol is unconditional love. So there's something around unconditional love. I'm going to pull another one too. Unconditional love of self. And interesting too that your mom energy came up, who some kind of mom energy in your space with lack mentality. This is like a generational thing. You don't have to carry it through the lineage. Birthday. A significant birthday holds the answer to your questions. So the fairies have spoken. A significant birthday. Definitely timing. I feel like I want to pull another magpie oracle with those two cards. And wow, oh, I love this. Here's the wishing well. So you've got the birthday card and you've got the wishing well. So they're definitely like, make some wishes. Make some wishes. That was the very first thing that came up too. It was dreaming your wishes into reality. Okay, Aries, there you have it for October. I hope this helps. Let me know if this resonates in the comments below, and I'll see you for your mid-month love reading. Have a wonderful rest of October, Aries.